Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Invincible Mind Show, episode number 4. Scott Jackson here. Do you ever notice that your mind can sabotage you in multiple ways in your life? Do you ever get stressed over bills or overwhelmed because of things that you need to get done and then actually get less done in the process, or even have a harder time paying the bills in the process? Or do you have the consistency in the results that you want in your business or your career, and your financial growth, as well as in your health and wellness, and in your relationships, your interpersonal relationships, maybe intimate or even platonic? Do all those things work the way you want them to, or would love for them to? And if you're like most of us, then probably not. There's probably some inconsistencies and some things that you don't actually that you wish would be different, but they don't change, right? Or you reproduce the same patterns of thinking and behaviors in those contexts, which give you the results you don't want. And this is important to bring awareness to, because in developing an invincible mind, it's something that happens inside, right? It's the ability to create it's really, let's call it what it is. It's mastery over your thinking. Now, that begs an interesting question. Well, if you're mastering if you're going to develop mastery over your thinking, then who's the thinker? Interesting question, isn't it? Most of us go through a period, or some people even their whole life, thinking that who they are, the whole of who they are, is their thinking, the way they think about themselves and about others and their life and their past and their future, completely identified with the thoughts, meaning the thoughts create the identity. And here's the news, you guys, that only the thoughts that we identify with are just the thoughts of the conscious mind. The thoughts that we're aware of are thoughts that are conscious thoughts. And literally, the conscious mind is only a part of your mind. You also have a unconscious mind, or a subconscious mind, that's responsible for many, 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 many things. And then, of course, there is above that, or even bigger than that, there's some would call it the spirit, others may call it the higher self, but there's multiple facets to who you are. So therefore, who you think you are with your mind, and the thoughts that you think that produce your reality, are a small part of who you are. And who you actually are is far more than you could ever imagine yourself to be consciously. Here's the rub. The limits that are self-created, the limits that are self-created to having access to higher states and to the spirit and the higher mind, if you will, exist within the unconscious mind, and then are regularly strengthened by the repetitive thought processes that are done consciously. So if you're not the thinking mind or the conscious mind, then you are something much more than that. Yet you must bring awareness to that. And because I think that if you want to accomplish if you want to live the life you want to live, whatever that is, and I mean a fulfilled life, right? And that's different for everyone, but there's some consistencies around relationships and abundance or prosperity that are pretty consistent for most of us, things that we would like to accomplish and have in our lives and enjoy and make life enjoyable, because we want life to be enjoyable, don't we? And of course, fruitful and full of love and abundance. So what if I were to tell you that the only thing that actually stops you from having all of the things that you are worthy of and deserve is your thinking? are the repetitive, self-defeating thoughts that exist, that were formed somewhere in the past, that continue to produce the results that are consistent with those thoughts. So like, let's look at this chart. So if you look at, we've got focus, and then focus. Well, so what you're focused on, that means your thoughts. So your focus is actually what you think about, right? Like when you think, oh, I can lose this weight, I am going to lose the weight of whatever you're going to lose the weight of, and you focus on that and you intend that, and you put your thinking on that. Your thinking is in the sense of you believe you can, you're certain that you can, you will achieve it, then you will achieve your target. Then what happens? Your behaviors will change to be consistent with that. You'll eat in the right way to support your weight loss. You will go to the gym, you will exercise, you will do the appropriate exercises to produce the metabolic increase and the physical wellness and health that will produce and facilitate fat burn. And then you'll get the result of what? Of hitting your optimal weight, your target. And then that result will then give feedback back to your focus, which strengthens the way you think about something. Now, but here it works the other way as well. If you don't believe, let's take it for, let's talk about it in the context of money. If you don't believe that or if you have a belief like there's not enough, right? There's never enough money. And beliefs like this are pretty common when I've done helping people with conscious money mindset and helping them overcome their money blocks and limitations to creating wealth and abundance. Oftentimes there's a thought like in what's being focused on, like, oh, there's not enough, right? Or, oh, it's hard to pay the bills, or God, where am I going to get the money to pay that? Or, oh my God, that's too expensive. All those types of thoughts come from a belief, a foundational thought, like there's not enough, right? And for example, and then, of course, that produces behaviors that are, maybe someone stays in the same job and not go for an opportunity to go actually increase, or maybe someone doesn't go get a new job where they can sell something or increase their income because they believe there's not enough, right? So, and then that gives the results of what? Still struggling to pay bills, struggling to get by, struggling, which then gives feedback back to focus. And so the loop continues. It's just a loop. Now, what I want for you, because I really want you to come on this journey of developing your invincible mind and becoming bulletproof in the way that you think. Therefore, the way that you think and focus changes your behavior such that you produce the results you want, and then you strengthen that. You strengthen that neurology, you strengthen the loop, you strengthen the new identity of who you are. So here's the precursor to all change, the precursor to all growth is awareness. Without awareness, if you don't have awareness of a way that you are being that's producing the results you don't want, then you are destined to continue the same thing, because what we don't know, we don't know. And when you don't know something, that's a pretty, what's the saying? Ignorance is bliss, right? But like, it doesn't mean it's joyful. And so it is important to bring awareness to something. And then when you have awareness of it, then you can change. And if you have a big enough motivator as to why you want to change, the how will be easy to find and easy to learn. So for example, let me actually, not an example, let me give you a practice. I want to give you a practice that you can use to begin to raise your self-awareness around thoughts that are not serving you in your future, your life in the now, as well as the future that you want to create for yourself. All right, I call this, since you're not just your thinking mind, since you now are beginning to, if you may have already believed it, or now you're beginning to introduce or consider this possibility that you are so much more than just your thoughts that are repetitive and pretty. I mean, the epigeneticists say that we're about 95% conditioned reflex, right? So it's just like repetitive loops of thoughts day in, day out. Cool thing is that other 5 to maybe 10% that is not repetitive gives you the ability to cultivate awareness and to make conscious choice once you become aware of a thought or a behavior that doesn't serve you and doesn't serve who you want to be now or in the future, then you can actually, with that conscious intention, make change. And then you can habitualize that change such that you produce permanent and lasting change. And that's powerful because that's part of becoming invincible, right? Okay. But first you have to cultivate awareness. So I'm going to give you a task or a practice, a discipline, because in becoming in developing an invincible mind, you must have a disciplined mind and a mind that you are in control of. So imagine it like this. Imagine the mind is a tool, like it's I was looking for my little knife, but it's not here. Imagine the mind is like a tool, like a precision knife, or like a little X-Acto knife for cutting something with great precision, and you are to be the wielder of the tool and use the tool to exact what you want out of anything, to do what you want with that tool for it to serve its purpose in the context in which the tool is applicable. Now, but here's what happens. When we think we are our mind, when we think we're only our thoughts, then what typically happens is the tool takes over the machine, means takes over the whole self. And that's not what we want, because we want to have control of what the precision tool, which is your mind. All right, so you must become aware of how your mind is not serving you, so that you can make the change that's necessary to it, because this will begin with awareness, will be the first step in beginning to master your mind and the way that you think. And when you can master your mind and the way that you think, you will then begin to master your behaviors and your results. And then you can begin to expand out into the larger expanding potential that exists within you, that is so much greater than you know yourself to be. All right, so here's the practice. Imagine that pick a time, and you can do it now with your current thinking. And I suggest you do it when you become aware of anything you're doing that you don't like, right? That you're having an adverse reaction to. Like, let's say you have you get stressed about something. Maybe you're stressed because of your schedule, or and you're having that reaction to stress, right? Like like if I lose awareness and get stressed, then I get moving really fast. I'm intense, right? And a little too intense. My girlfriend says if I get stressed. So I had to begin to bring a real awareness to what was happening in my thinking when I got stressed. But anyways, we can have some sort of reaction to something. And it may be like when you're stressed, how you behave when you're stressed, like how you speak to people or treat people, or what you feel like inside your body, or all of the above. Or maybe it's when you need to shoot a live on Facebook, or you need to go into a sales opportunity. If you feel scared, or you don't think you're going to be successful, or you're worrying about failing at doing a presentation or making an offer, all these are things that are happening in your thinking that are just repetitive thoughts. But what you have to do is become aware of the thinking, right? So that it can be changed. First, we want awareness. So here's the thing I want you to learn. I want you to, in a moment when you're having when you become aware that you're thinking and behaving in a way you just wish you were doing a better job at. You wish you were not behaving or thinking in that way. In the moment you have that awareness, you need to stop. And I want you to imagine that you literally step outside of your body. You can either step outside of your body, or you can even imagine kind of floating up out of your body. And when you do this, either step out of your body or float out of your body, what I want you to do is see and sense and feel and just know that there's your body in front of you, either in front of you or below you, and see yourself thinking in the way and feeling and behaving in the way that you are seeing, or that you are feeling and thinking and behaving, right? So you want to see yourself, and you want to see this from a perspective as if you were looking at yourself in a photograph or even in a little movie. And from this place, what you will begin to become is the witness. Now, what do I mean by this? You'll become the observer of you, because you are more than your thoughts. You are more than your thoughts. So therefore, you must cultivate the ability to become the observer or the witness to your thinking, because when you do this, what will happen is you will, float out or step outside of your body, become the witness and the observer of your thoughts, and then see what you're thinking and see how you're behaving. And then you have to ask, from the place of the witness, you ask yourself this question: how do I want myself, which is down there in front of me, how do I want myself to think or focus or act instead? And so from this elevated witness observer perspective, you automatically know the powerful way that you need to think that will be, of course, probably polar opposite to the way that yourself is currently thinking. So then once you're clear on that and you have that new thought and that new intention from this place of the witness, step right back into your body, float right back into your body, and then begin to implement that thought. Implement that thought in a repetitive pattern. Like if it's if you were scared going into a sales opportunity or a live or a presentation, maybe the new thought is that I'm amazing at doing this live. I'm going to crush this presentation. I'm just going to do such an excellent job that they're going to love what I'm presenting. And you step back into your body and you start saying that and you focus on that. And that's what you start thinking. I'm doing an excellent job. I've totally got this. I'm amazing. I'm powerful. I'm limitless. I'm unlimited. The things that you need to say, what will happen is this will completely change your focus. It will change your physiology. It will change the energy in your body. Then your behaviors will change, and then your results will be different. And that gives feedback to the new positive intention, to the expanded awareness and the expanded intention. And this is how you can begin to expand who you are, because you have to become aware of who you have been being. And that way you can then begin expanding who you are by introducing new choice and new possibility into your field, into the quantum field, if you will, because when you do this, when you get clear on what you want and you focus on that and you energize your body with that and you feel confident and certain in that, then the universe will conspire to support you and deliver you exactly the results that you intend. But it all starts with awareness, the cultivation of awareness to begin to develop the mastery of your mind, thus becoming invincible. All right. Hope you're having an amazing day. Hope you've enjoyed this. Drop a 100 in the comments below if you really enjoyed this teaching today, and please share it on share it with people, share it on your wall. Tell everybody you know about the Invincible Mind Show and to come over to NLP Freedom and see the show. We're so happy to see you. Thank you for being here for episode number 4, and we look forward to seeing you next week. All right, bye.